Hi, my name is Jeffrey Haddix. Today we're going to be talking about acetic acid. Acetic acid is chemical description. It is an organic compound. It is colorless with a vinegar-like type odor. It's also used to make vinegar, as a matter of fact. It has a sour taste and classified as a weak acid. In order to deal with acetic acid, you must wear the proper PPE. Resistant gloves do not use or exclude latex. Do not use latex. You must wear goggles. You have to have a face shield or some type of shield and an apron. And the common entries into the body for acetic acid, of course, is through your skin, through your pores in your skin. And it has a burning sensation in higher concentrations, and it corrodes metal. If it goes in through the eye, make eye contact with acetic acid, it can cause conjunctivitis. It also can be inhaled. It causes chronic bronchitis and difficulty breathing. The exposure limits, there's three classes or three governing type agencies. Of course, we all know what OSHA is. Well, they also have NIOSH, which is your recommended exposure limit. It's a recommended. It's not law, but it's not OSHA. But they follow along with OSHA. OSHA recommends the same limit, 10 parts per million, as NIOSH. And OSHA is the permissible, the PEL, the permissible exposure limit. And you have ACGIH, which is also 10 parts per million, and that is your threshold limit values. They went through and added up what they believe is to be the threshold where you come in contact with a certain type of agent or chemical or compound, and that's their limit. And they all are parallel. They all run the same. Not all, they don't always run the same, but with this one they do. The lethal dose of acetic acid is 10 parts per million. And when you're overexposed, you must submit to a blood testing for exposed workers. Toxic effects of the chemical, we have to discuss these with everyone, because it's small quantities, it's pretty harmless, but over an extended period of time or high doses, it can become lethal. Another issue I'd like to talk about is CO2 levels indoors. And it's an ongoing study. It's not something that's written in stone yet, but there's been a lot of talk about indoor exposure to CO2 levels and the damages it causes. And from 250 to 300 parts per million is pretty normal. It's outdoor air level. There's CO2 everywhere. But in indoors, it's becoming, like in office type settings, it's becoming more toxic, actually. And from 350 to 1,000 parts per million is typical level found in occupied spaces with good air exchange. Now, from 1,000 to 2,000 parts per million, it's associated with complaints of drowsiness and poor air. You sit in your office all day long and not just tired from overeating, you start to become more drowsy because the oxygen in the air is depleted and it's just CO2. From 2,000 to 5,000 parts per million, it's a level associated with headaches, sleepiness, stagnant, stale, stuffy air, poor concentration, loss of attention, increased heart rate, and slight nausea may be also present. Greater than 5 parts per million, this indicates unusual air conditions with high levels of other gases also could be present. Toxicity or oxygen deprivation could occur. This is the permissible exposure limit for daily workplace exposures. Greater than 40 parts per million, this level is immediately harmful due to oxygen deprivation. Thank you, and I hope this helps in explaining acetic acid and will allow you to push it out to all the other employees. And thank you and have a safe day.